Now, we all know that I can't really teleport. It's just a trick of the camera and the editing. But there are times when a man's mind will play tricks on him. I was working as the floor manager at a sporting goods store, and that title meant that I was supposed to be able to fill in at basically any spot in the store. Now, on this particular Saturday, I was working in the athletic shoes department because everybody else was taking inventory, so they needed someone to staff that area. But let me give you an illustration of how things were going down. The white area is the shoe department sales floor. The red is the stock room. The black line is the display wall that separated the two. And then there's the curtain that employees walk through. Now, here's me, and this is Ron, but he's out of sight because he's performing inventory, which is why I was covering for him on the sales floor. And then there's this row of fitting chairs that sits right in front of the carpet where the hunting and fishing section begins. And on that particular Saturday, this very queer fellow walks in. And please understand, I'm not the type that will say queer instead of gay. When I say queer, I mean the man was just plain queer. He was as out of place in this world as, well, as a four-wheeled tricycle. Prissy, self-absorbed, the type of person who will sneer at a store clerk when they offer assistance and then 15 minutes later will run to a store manager and complain that nobody is trying to help me. The man had just come from the mall's movie theater and had ducked into our store while his girlfriend was next door shopping for makeup. And he proceeded to spend the next 10 minutes flitting about the shoe wall and talking about how bad our selection was. And then he finally handed me a shoe, without even looking me in the eyes. And he simply turned and started walking away. 3 steps later, he finally says, "Well, if it's not too much trouble for you, I'd like that at an 8.5 or a, oh well, let's see here, 9. Well, Ron just happens to be right behind the curtain. And that particular line of shoe had been discontinued. We had only 3 pair left. So Ron hands me a box and whispers that we have 8.5, 12, and 13. Which means that I've got a box of shoes in my hand and I'm only 2 steps behind the guy before the word 9 even comes out of his mouth. And then he turns around to sit his ass down in the chair. And he finds me standing there, right in front of him, holding a pair of shoes and saying, "Here you are, sir, 8.5. We have no 9s. And the poor boy had just come from watching Silence of the Lambs. I think he bought a pair of shoes just to keep from pissing me off. I'm Travis Clemmons. I hope to see you later. Bye now.